Hello, hello, hello. This is Doc, aka the Great Bukaki, aka the Great Swagskate, aka Magandang Umaga, aka Teddy Longanisa, aka Dolphy Ziggler, aka Toshiaki Burada, aka Kensuke no Sake, aka Corned Beef Hashimoto, aka Cactus Jack Cooler, aka Ube Lashley, aka Rob Pan Dan, aka the Vegan Killer Randy Otap, aka Big Match Gian Sinigang, aka the Flanimal Bautista. I walk around the fire pit of lechon, aka Filipino Heat, aka the Grand Hamonado, aka Sexy Boy Bong, and I am here today. I'm blessed to have here today someone from the UK, someone that I've been talking to for a couple years on so many discords. This man is pretty funny. This man loves metal, and he is the king of this shit. He is, you know, Mr. Pogo's sickle. He is real glass. He is the big Bush man. He is big Scran Veda. He is, of course, LegionAOD, aka Matt. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Thank you for having me on. Love the nicknames, and I was trying so hard when you were doing some of yours not to burst out laughing and ruining the take.
Oh no, my brother. That's I I some people just couldn't stop, just can't stop themselves. Like I know, like I that's my whole thing is I'm trying to break people so that they're starting to laugh.
I mean, starting with the great Bukaki was just like, oh god.
Hey, people have a misnomer with what bukkake is. Like, because I always get my udon bukkake style, which is they just splash some stuff on it.
hmm
Like you see that on the menu and you're going to laugh, you're going to have a little bit of teehees. But,
hmm
that's, I am immature and it is what you thought it was. Um, but yeah, man, I like to welcome you here. I know you haven't done a podcast for a while.
hmm
And I'm honored to be one of the few podcasts that you decided to guest on and give me the opportunity to talk because, you know, I'm from America. I'm a
hmm
dumb, ignorant American from the Southern California. I know that makes people mad when I say I'm from the South when I'm from Southern California. And that's why I say it. But technically, I am in the Southwest, and technically, Southern California had way more cowboys than Virginia. I'm just saying. Um, but yeah, man, welcome.
All
And
right.
yeah, my whole thing was I always wondered what Legion AOD stand for, and like my first part of my head, I was thinking, does he love the Legion of Doom that much, or is that for something else?
It's okay. It comes from doing the old school e-feds back in the day.
Oh, fantastic!
Did all that, did all the message board stuff. I know quite a fair few people from Death Valley Driver,
Same here.
uh, video review message boards. That's how I know people like Bix and people like Dylan Hales, um, and people from that like world. I was
Yeah.
under a completely different name there. I was under the name of Cygnus 87, for which you can blame the Mars Volta for that,
Hey, I love the Mars Volta. I
with Francis the Mute.
yeah, man, it's a shame about what Scientology did to their dog. But anyway,
Oh,
yeah, that's
yeah.
that's a great origin story you got there. This podcast has no aspersions and has no problems with any religions, especially that of Scientology. The views of this host do not reflect those values of this podcast. Anyway.
But yeah, and the AOD was basically an Army of Darkness fame because I was really getting into the Evil Dead stuff at the
Hell
time.
yeah. Army of Darkness? Oh my gosh. I love Ash. I love This Is My Boomstick. I love the Chainsaw Hand. Even though it makes no sense because like wouldn't he like in like the olden times run out of bullets? But
Probably.
magic.
Army of Darkness is one of those ones where you don't really have to think hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
'Cause
always good.
that's awesome, man. And I know we were talking earlier, and speaking of like Evil Dead and stuff, like I love bloody gore stuff. I love
Mm,
horror movies. I love slasher movies.
same.
Um, like one of my favorite ones is what's that one called? I really like man, my head is like I really like Hellraiser, but that's not really a slasher film. A slasher film like
Oh, Hellraiser. Weird thing with Hellraiser. I have a very weird connection to Hellraiser, as I found out about 2 years ago.
sweet.
The global premiere of that movie was the day I was born. So September, so September the 10th, 87. Someone must have opened a Lament configuration box somewhere because I came out. I came out of it.
Oh man, that's
So
sweet. That's so cool, man.
I
Like
love that. I love that movie.
the
And
Cenobites, all that stuff. It's so trippy. I mean, for every time of slasher films, I love Friday the 13th. I love
yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street, like that kind of stuff. It made me. I remember my aunts made me watch like Dream Warriors, and it made me not want to go to sleep.
Ah,
That song is so
that's
cool
one of the
though.
best ones though. Number three has to be, aside from the original, obviously the best one.
Yeah,
Probably one, three, and New Nightmare are probably the top three.
yeah. It's like when my wife asked me, "Why do you love this stuff so much?" I was like, "Well, my shout out to you, auntie. My lesbian goth butch aunt, and her
Nice,
girlfriend would babysit us, and those are the movies we'd watch." so,
nice.
so like when I so like stuff like that, my aunt would be laughing, so we'd be laughing. So that's how we took it, and I think like that kind of like that's how I think that's why when I watch something like really bloody, like if I watch say like a death match, because I love death match wrestling. I'm a death match ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sicko. The blood never disturbs me. What disturbs me is when the work really sucks, and it's just
Yeah.
like if people don't know. People think that when Cactus would like in that King of the Death match that was lazy wrestling, but no, like Cactus, Terry
No.
Funk, Mike Awesome, these guys would work their asses off. They hit the ropes, they brawl, they do wrestling. It's just wrestling with cooler things, you know?
See, here's the thing. We we can start getting into death matches now. When I started watching
Perfect
death
segues.
matches, it was during, because of the wrestling channel being on over here. It was during the eras of like Cage of Death 5 and 6.
Oh yeah.
So
CZW.
two of the best Cage of Death matches ever are 5 and 6. 6 more so than 5. Mostly for the moment when Jack Evans almost dies.
Dude, he takes that fall
I
from like
know.
so high, and there's like nobody there to catch him, and it's just like, ah, I
He's
love it.
supposed clearly he's supposed to go through the table,
Yeah,
but he
he's supposed to go
completely
through the
misses it.
table, but he just misses it. And some of those times, like when you see that stuff, that's all, that's horrifying a bit, but that's also a part of the appeal is the danger.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's what I like. I
But
like danger.
as I've gotten older, I've tend to appreciate the ones that do tell a story a lot
Yeah.
more than just we're going to hit ourselves with VCRs for about 10 minutes. I mean, let's take for example, let me take for example the recent GCW show in Texas.
All right.
Um,
I love
they
Bear
had about
Bronson.
they had about 2 or 3 death matches on there.
Yeah.
Um, they had KJ also, the former Fuego del Sol, taking on Sam Stackhouse in an I Quit match. And this has to be, so far, probably one of my favorite death matches of 2025 because the story is Sam's trying to get KJ to realize that he's completely lost his mind and he needs to get back on the right path again.
Yeah.
So he keeps calling him Fuego. KJ keeps getting mad, keeps hitting him with chairs, ties him up to the ropes. There's all sorts of shit. Meanwhile, the blood is coming, the Crimson Mask is coming down on both of them, but to the point with Sam, it's starting to actually clot on his face. So he's tied up in the ropes. He's not quitting. His wife goes into the ring, Sam's wife, and it's the old trope of, if you don't quit right now, I'm going to do something to your wife. And he's about to do it, and then suddenly, instead of going Fuego, he goes, KJ! And then you're like, KJ's face changes. So you're thinking, oh, wait, hold on. There might be some humanity left. Sam quits. KJ still does his finisher on the guy's wife anyway, and gets out of there as quick as he can. So the story is now KJ has completely lost whatever type of soul or whatever he has left, which makes sense since he's going up against Effie quite soon for the belt. So I can probably guess how that's going to pan out. Sam's probably going to get his revenge. But on the same card, you have Tremont versus John Wayne Murdoch, two guys I absolutely love for what they've done over the years.
Crazy guys.
But it is mostly just him and John beating the shit out of each other, and the only bit that's noticeable is Tremont somehow manages to get some blood going like a fountain off the top of his head at one point, because it made everywhere for like a day.
Was it coming out from that little horn he got?
Yeah,
that
pretty much.
Creature on the top of his head.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Pretty much. I mean, that was fine, but it wasn't as. It was good, but it wasn't as like. I won't be coming back to that one as much as I am with KJ and what's it to the point KJ did share it on Blue Sky. I don't know if he shared it anywhere else because I wasn't using Twitter as much at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, some death matches are great, some death matches are fine, and there's some moments like the JCW's show that they did SummerSlam weekend where they decided to do a fire bit at the end.
Yeah, we were talking about this, and what you told me made sense about why the commentators reacted the way they did.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, supposedly Mickey Knuckles supposedly pitched a bit of fire. They said no at first. She did the bit. John Wayne Murdoch gets set on fire. But there's no extinguishers, there's no water or anything around the ring.
Blankets.
And it nearly goes completely wrong to the fact that he couldn't do ICW No Holds Barred 81 the next day.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be in a fatal four-way for the American Deathmatch Championship with Tank, and I think Tank and Hoodfoot were involved.
He was on fire, they said, like for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then he posted the pictures on his social media. It was like,
oh yeah,
that's not good at all. Like, so usually when they do fire spots, like going back to like ECW, right? You
95.
Yeah, or you like that. So like when they do fire spots, they put the lighter fluid on there, right? And they let the fire burn. Because the fire burns the liquid.
Yeah.
But what happened is Mickey Knuckles poured like the whole bottle on there, lit it, and then Mad Pondo gave John Wayne Murdoch, right?
Yeah.
So they gave him like the superplex, but there was no chance for the liquid to be burned off. So the liquid
they didn't let it breathe.
Yeah. So the liquid like got on John Wayne Murdoch and spread throughout his whole thing. He was running around on fire. Guys took off their shirts. Mickey Knuckles everybody just dropped kayfabe and just tried to stomp out the fire that was on him. And you had like the announcers like yelling for fire. Can we get some help out here? But like like if they had like similar to like Joey Janela when he lit his foot on fire and all they had was one water bottle and that was it. I'm just like, yo, you gotta
I
This
thought
this is
Brett would have at
crazy.
least get a blanket of that if he was going to do a fire spot like earlier on that day. I don't know.
Yeah, but like fire is not predictable if you are going to make it like a surprise and spring it on people. I'm sure the guys in the
Mm.
ring like they were all hyped up about it, but you gotta like tell like the ring crew guys the who are
Yeah.
around the ring to like prepare. Like if you're not gonna tell the commentators, at least tell the ring crew like, hey, we have this and this here so that we are able to. But nope, it was kind of like it wasn't as scary as the fire match that you saw like on the dark side of the ring with the Sheik and Sabu versus
Oh yeah.
Owen. but like it was like we seen people run around getting gone on fire, but like this was scary, like, and the
I
ring was
mean,
on fire too. So
yeah.
like they were just like it's like chickens running around with their heads off, not knowing what to do, not informing. Like who knows? Like if they're gonna end up get banned from that building because they didn't get a war, they didn't get the like they probably didn't get clearance to do that from the building. So like
Well,
it,
it's like there's one I've seen recently because of the Deadlock Boys with
yeah,
the Watch This thing that they do. And it was Big Japan in 2000 when they had the little deal with CZW.
mm,
So it was Nick Gage, Zandig versus Matsunaga and Jun Kasai.
yeah,
And there's a bit where Jun Kasai, it looks like he's going to do a poetry in motion type spot over the ropes that are
yeah,
on fire.
yeah.
He completely hits the ropes, stomach first, down. So all you can see is the Deadlock Boys going, "Oh my god!" And next thing you see, it cuts to, I think, Nick Gage and Matsunaga fighting on the outside, and then it cuts quickly to Jun Kasai getting a fire extinguisher completely sprayed in front of him.
Yeah.
And then Matt Zanding nearly gets put badly through a table, and then next thing you know, they're moving the ring truck so they can do spots with the ring truck. It's completely insane.
It's insane. It's insane, but it's like kind of like a fun insane because it's Zandig.
Oh
It's the crazy monkey. It's Matsunaga. You
yeah.
know, we're talking Nick
Jun
Gage. We're
Kasai is one of
talking
my favorite
about
wrestlers.
like deathmatch, deathmatch royalty of the 2000s. And like like say what you will about like people would talk about like how Zandig and like Gage were just like Nate Hatred. They're all just like spot monkeys
Garbage
who didn't
wrestlers.
know garbage
Yeah.
wrestling. But like I always looked at garbage wrestling as just the name of the style. I didn't say it like
Mm.
as these guys are all garbage because not you could tell not everyone's garbage. Like Sick Nick Mondo, that guy
Yes.
is an excellent pro wrestler, and he was very theatrical with all his stuff. I know people make fun of like cinema, but like the way that he would craft his like death matches and the spots and like how he would always make sure the camera caught his face when he did the sick Nick stuff or when he did like his super bump, he'd make sure like the cameras were there to catch it.
Oh yeah.
And that, and I could tell that's why he has like a degree in cinema, and I think he was working for AEW for a bit. I'm not sure if he's still there, but he was the guy
Don't
that
forget now.
did Moxley's like promos for before when he
Yes,
went
he
to New
did.
Japan. And yeah, dude, you gotta respect those hardcore
He
wrestlers.
he was wise to get out when he did, though.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm glad he came back for that Cage of Death appearance, even though it was due to someone that we won't talk about here. It's the
yeah,
brother of someone else that we won't talk about. that
yeah.
used to work at WWE,
Oh,
but
yeah. The less said about fans who do cosplay, the better.
nothing wrong with cosplay, like anime cosplay and stuff. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I always
Um,
say like never put wrestlers on a pedestal because they're just going to fail you. That's what
Potentially
I always say.
disappoint you. Yeah,
It's always gonna be disappointing.
yeah, I know. Well, we've especially in the last 5 years, I think a lot of people have learned that the hard way.
And
Sadly.
as we saw from a certain Beast comeback, some people just don't give a shit. Um,
Mm,
yeah, and
yes.
and like I always had like this thing with the deathmatch wrestling, like because my favorite wrestler was Cactus Jack.
Yep.
My I love Terry Funk. I love ECW when I found it like in 1996, and I saw New
Yeah.
Jack hitting people with like a VCR and it breaking on their head. I love that stuff. How could you not when you're when you're like 12, 11, 13 year
I
old?
think the great thing about New Jack is that you've seen him in ECW and you think, oh, all he does is pretty much hit people with weapons. His music's
Yeah.
playing in the background and da da da. And it seems to get a bit, it does seem a bit one trick pony.
Mm.
And then you watch his stuff in Smoky Mountain Wrestling and you're just like, this guy can antagonize a crowd like the best of them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the
Shout
first
out to you,
promo,
OJ. One less to worry about.
yeah,
Oh
in
my god.
the first promo he cuts when he's on the TV. And it's just like, if that's how you're going to start there, you are going to get so much heat and it's going to be so good, for better or for worse.
Like New Jack was doing stuff that nobody else is doing. Like as far as like
No.
actually when they're referencing hip hop, he's like referencing like gangster rap. Like
Mm.
whereas like before you'd have like Men on a Mission, even
Oh,
like
yeah.
Make a Difference Fatu, like with the cross
Mm-hmm.
color stuff. So it's like positive like rap music that, but that's not like cheesy rap music, not like gangster rap, which is what New Jack was referencing. Even like when he had like he was in Memphis. Have you seen the thing of him in Memphis? So like he's like doing like just a straight wrestler gimmick, but like he's coming out
Right.
to Snoop and Dr. Dre, right? And,
Right.
and like he's
I don't
coming out and he just there's an energy to him, man. The closest wrestler that I can compare it to nowadays is like Swerve, because no one really is doing
Yeah.
what Swerve is doing. Um, like, cause like even if I look at guys, like if I'm gonna compare them like as hip hop gimmicks, like the Street Profits or even like the New Day, this is all different kinds of hip hop that people listen to. But like as far as like being like kind of like the cool, kind of like rough, tough kind of thing, like Swerve is kind of doing that thing,
Yeah.
and I think that's cool.
I mean, the thing with Swerve is, I know someone that was a big fan. Is still a big fan of it actually.
Yeah,
She used to go to shows. She used to go shows at Fight Club Pro when he was doing stuff for Fight Club Pro.
yeah,
So at the last AEW pay-per-view, when they did that bit with JoJo doing "Ain't Nobody"
yeah,
at the beginning of his entrance, I'm like straight away onto like Messenger going, "They're doing Ain't Nobody, they're doing it, they're doing it,"
yeah.
and we're like, ah! It's like I still wish they kind of did that as a little gag in the Anarchy in the Arena rather than the Pointer Sisters.
They might do that next year because, people like Swerve is an excellent pro wrestler, but
Yes.
he cut his teeth like in places like CZW.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Cage of Death. He was having like those death matches, going through glass, getting bloody.
Yep.
Like even in like his big shot in Lucha Underground, the big match with AR Fox was a death match,
Yes.
and like having a death match filmed with that kind of production value, fantastic.
I mean, Lucha Underground. It is criminal that no one picked it up to actually get shown properly in the UK whatsoever.
Yeah,
It's all good using archive.org and all that stuff, or having to get it via, torrent sites and whatnot, Pro
yeah,
Wrestling Times or whatever. But I wish it had had a proper home in the UK, because more people needed to see how good that was. At least the first two seasons in particular.
yeah. I mean, like even Vampiro versus Pentagon, like
Yes.
their death match, because then that was like what 12, 13 years ago. So
Yeah.
freaking Vampiro could still move somewhat. So he was able to like have that kind of a level of match with Pentagon, who was like on fire. He was on fire then. Like he was doing those shows, those tapings, and then they do it from those tapings, and then they do PWG, and like him and Phoenix would have like those tag matches with the Bucks.
Yeah.
That era of pro wrestling for me as a LA guy, that was so fun because like we had access to like the guys who did Lucha Underground. New Japan would have their young boys here already, so like
Yeah.
I'd see like Hiromu come in as Kamai Tachi, and do like
Mm-hmm.
his stupid senton to the outside, landing on nobody on the wood floor, just smack the back of his head, and like yeah, when we're talking about like hardcore wrestlers, deathmatch wrestling, garbage wrestling, and
Yeah.
like we're talking about guys like Swerve, Penta. You can even catch a check. Even if I go like to like the TLC guys like Jeff Hardy, Darby Allin, like these are all guys who can go without the gimmicks. But like when you add the gimmicks in for people who know how to work, it just wrestling kind of reaches another level for me. And I
I mean,
can't.
I'm not going to lie. With Darby, I've had a bit of a love-hate relationship with Darby
Oh,
because it's basically because for a long period of time, his matches were basically the same. Oh, I'm getting beat up very badly, and then he'd get the fluke win, and that
oh,
just got tiresome for me.
yeah, he's the ultimate underdog. He was like doing like a Rey Mysterio kind of
Yeah,
thing where he would get ragdolled the whole match and then he hits a hope spot. Oh, it's over. It's
and
kind of
sometimes with
yeah.
some wrestlers that works. I mean, when he was doing it with the artist formerly known as Walter, when he was doing it with him, that was a great match back
Yeah,
in Evolved, and
Walter
Ethan
with
Page.
Walter, Ethan Page. He even did it one with like Keith Lee, like
Yes,
Jacob Fatu. Like these big guys doing it with big guys.
yeah,
Yeah, it works. But when he does it for somebody that's like a similar size, it kind
yeah.
of loses its like. So okay, the guy is punching him, beating him up, and then he hits that flipping stunner, and then does the coffin, and then that's it.
I mean, it made sense at All In Texas for him to basically be Sting and
Yeah,
save the day. That made total sense because that was another reason why I like the Texas Deathmatch so much that they did. That really told a story. That is when they say cinema and absolute cinema.
yeah.
That is as close to the equivalent to maybe a grindhouse movie, but a very good one.
Yeah, I was talking to my friends who my friend who's like a Cody guy, and he
Yeah.
was like watching that, and he's like, "This was better than WrestleMania 40," and I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
really? You think that?" Because like a lot of like WWE fans say like that's like perfectly encapsulates the finish of the Bloodline, right? And this match
Mm-hmm.
really does capture. I mean, it's not the end of the Death Riders yet. I mean,
No.
maybe it is when this comes out. Maybe the Death Riders don't exist anymore. But like,
Maybe.
it does encapsulate the end of that era of and it tells that story. Like everybody's coming back to bite the Death Riders in the ass, and
Yeah.
I think that's great.
With the Death Riders, I can see a Claudio coup on the way for some
Yeah,
reason. I don't know why. Claudio
yeah,
coup. Eddie shows up, saves Marks, and there we go.
yeah. Maybe
Or Eddie becomes the new leader. Who knows? Who knows what could have happened?
I mean,
But
yeah,
but yeah, WrestleMania 40. I have seen the what they say is the moments of that match, and I think if it had been Austin showing up, that would have worked better than Taker. At least everything would have come full circle.
yeah. Heck, even Triple H would have made sense, but he's not gonna explode his heart for 30 seconds.
No, he's too busy. He's too busy saying stupid shit on podcasts,
Yeah,
trying to put things off.
he was too humble that he had to come out at the end of the night and have Cody thank him for the world title.
He's that humble. He doesn't want to be on camera so much that he's the focus of the quote unquote reality show
Oh yeah,
that
he
basically wants to make him wrestlers Dana White, which, given stuff with Dana White in the past year or so, in
yeah.
the last 5 years, probably not the best comparison to have.
It
Uh,
it kind of feels like the bloodline people don't have any like really kind of any say in the show because he got on there and he buried Jey Uso, which
mm-hmm.
like he didn't do that with anybody else. He didn't say like anybody else has deficiencies. It was only, I hope you get your shit right, kid, because you're getting tired after every entrance. And I'm like, cool, but like you just buried this guy
Wait,
to
well, how can you keep in mind when they were doing his entrance? Because I did watch the first Raw on Netflix because it's a kind of a milestone thing for wrestling.
yeah
So I do watch it when there's milestone moments because I'm a bit of a cultural historian now. So I watched that, and the fact that he's been basically for the last month or so doing his entrance from the crowd, getting down to the bottom, and then having to do the match. No wonder he's getting blown up.
Yeah, because okay, people, like, it's not the case that he's walking down from the top of the arena down. I mean, sure, that's gonna work. It's an adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
You're so hyped from getting that crowd. Like, that crowd is crazy when he comes out. I know people like, people don't watch, people in our kind of circles don't really watch it in that way, but like when he comes out, that whole crowd is alive and they're doing the dance with him. And when you have that many people pumping you up, your heart is beating. Like, I would love to see like what his like Fitbit or like what his Apple Watch says his heart rate's at when he's doing that entrance, because like that's, I know people talk about crazy entrances about like people flying from the ceiling and all that, but this is, you're surrounded by a sea of people chanting your name, and even if you're doing a regular entrance, you got to be hyped from that. It's ridiculous. So of course,
I mean,
like,
I am surprised. I am surprised that they haven't done a Fitbit gimmick thing yet. Actually,
oh, I think maybe I'm predicting something that's gonna happen.
Maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna check about his heart rate while he's walking down to the ring. Oh wow, his resting heart rate is 130 beats per minute. Oh, we got to get a doctor here.
Yeah, it's like, it's just, I don't know, but because what I put it in the newsletter, a while back, but I just started working on something.
Yeah.
There is no end goal for when it's going to be finished. It's an ongoing thing, and it's basically talking about wrestling and the warping of reality that wrestling likes to do.
Ooh.
Specifically when as soon as the McMahons broke away from the NWA in the 50s, and they decided to use other places as a marriage of convenience, that is when they decide to start warping the history. So the only history they want you to know for the majority of the time is theirs. No one else's, unless it's convenient to do so. And it starts getting worse from the 50s, but it's always been there in some form, because there's the whole story of Abraham Lincoln being a pro wrestler, right?
Yeah, won a title after a tournament, but it was work, all that stuff.
Yeah, the great historian Carl Stern. Check out his work, especially the Dragon King stuff on the Pioneer era. When he mentions how they basically made it so it made Lincoln look good when he was the president against Jack Armstrong, I'm like, aha! So this stuff's been going on since then. Hell, in the first installment of Wrestling Warping Reality, I went far back to say God has had 2 matches in wrestling. He had one in 2000. He had the one with Shawn Michaels as his partner in that Backlash. And there's a moment in the Bible where he wrestles Jacob.
Oh yeah, I think they went to a draw.
Yeah, but he said.
Neither guy wanted to put one over. It doesn't work for me, brother. Good,
I'm gonna give you a new name, but it doesn't work for me. Try again some other time. But there's basically variations of that story throughout the Bible, the Quran, etc.
Yeah.
There's different variations of that. And so, yeah, I've been basically trying to work on that, but that is going to take a while. It's pretty much inspired by another great writer called Elizabeth Sandifer, who's done stuff on Doctor Who, and she's also done stuff on Alan Moore and Grant Morrison's feud with each other.
Oh, those are two mystical guys.
Yeah, and it's called Last War in Albion, and she's been working on that for the better part of a decade now. She's only just started doing the 4th chapter, but that won't be available outside of her Patreon for at least a year. But
you're giving me homework, man. Now I gotta search that out.
It's quite inspired by that. It's also partly inspired by Josie Reitman's book that she did on Vince and Trump and the Neo Kayfabe. Ringmaster. That book is great. But Yeah. So, but if you want to start from where I fell in love with wrestling, it kind of started in '92
Okay. Oh.
because over here we used to get WCW on a Saturday afternoon.
Mm.
It wasn't Saturday night. It wasn't any of the main shows for WCW. It was like a special, like, comp. I think it was worldwide actually that we might have got, or WCW Pro.
Hmm.
But we used to get down the Saturday afternoon at like 3 p.m. for an hour.
You know, I got a question for you. Did you ever
Okay.
watch that one documentary? It had Robbie Brookside uh, as like the main character in it, and he was
Oh yes, the BBC one.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I have seen that one. It's pretty good for the time.
yeah.
I
Because
don't
he
think it's
was
aged that well now.
yeah, yeah. I think it followed him. There was PNUs in it, so it had like
Yeah.
I think those WCW guys were like doing a tour in the UK or something, and then he went over
Yeah,
there. But
must have
yeah,
been
that's just
92,
beside. I was just thinking
93.
about that right now because like you're from the UK. So like the
Yeah.
big show you watched was WCW. It wasn't like SummerSlam '92 that really jumped out to you.
I did end up watching that about a year or so later,
Hmm.
and I did get the annual that Christmas, the Christmas of '92, so '92, '93. So I knew who Doink was and Bret Hart was and Tatanka and all those. So I knew who those were, but I didn't start watching WWF until they put Raw on a Friday night
Oh,
over there.
interesting.
They had Raw on. At first, they put it on at 5 o'clock in the evening.
Hmm.
The first Raw I can definitely remember watching though was in '96, when the one after the Royal Rumble where Vader beats up Gorilla Monsoon,
Oh yeah.
takes him out.
Yeah.
That's the first Raw I can vividly remember watching.
They actually booked Vader really good on his introduction. That like as far as like being in the Rumble, beating up Gorilla
Yeah.
Monsoon, being seen as a wild man. The follow up wasn't that great.
Well, there is one person we can partly blame for that, and that's Shawn Michaels and
That
the
is the
incident.
Heartbreak Kid. Yeah, definitely.
Woo!
Stopping mid match
Woo!
to slap him in the face and curse him out. That was great.
I mean,
And then they
one.
reused that spot in the Mankind match.
I mean, for starters, clearly Shawn had not watched anything that Vader had done in New Japan, because
Oh
I think if he had tried doing that a couple of years earlier, he would have regretted that so quickly.
gosh, because like I think Vader was coming off WCW and then his Super Vader run in
Yes.
UWFI. So he
Yeah.
was not gonna work soft. He didn't work soft with Hogan. He beat the crap out of Hogan actually. I just because of when actually like Hogan was like my favorite guy in WCW when he came in.
Yeah.
But like Vader was my guy in WCW, so that match I looked forward to, and then it ended up being like a Hogan thing, and I was like,
I think what it is with Hogan is, I think we can all majority of us can say that we had an era where we were like, oh, Hogan's great, as we were growing up, because he was like the first wrestler we got into. For
ah,
me, it was kind of like Hogan, The Undertaker, and a few others. My mom loved Lex Luger. She couldn't stop drooling over Lex Luger when we were
my
when.
mom loved Booker T. She she like from when he was in Harlem Heat, she's like,
Yeah.
that's such a handsome man. That's like if Eddie Murphy had muscles. Because my mom,
Yeah.
she loved black men. so so like her like she like was like thirsting for like Booker T.
Yeah.
Booker T was her guy because like she was so, but her guy was Bob Backlund. But that's besides the point. So I like yeah. When we grow up, we do like we start with Hulk Hogan and then we build on from there. Right?
Yeah.
Some
I mean,
people
I
stop at Hulk Hogan, but I kind of like I went from Hogan, and then I saw Sting, and then I was like,
yeah.
okay, Sting is better.
And then of course with Hogan, you find out as the years go on what a giant piece of shit he is.
Yeah.
In a way, we found out as in the last few years what the Undertaker is like, mostly through politics and whatnot. That he isn't the
Yes.
great person
It
either.
was such a shame what happened to Kane. You know, I I think if everybody loves Kane, especially like the choke slam and the mask, and then like they even love like his like ruthless aggression song. To every intuition
Oh, Finger 11,
fails.
yeah.
Yeah, I love new metal. Like the ruthless
Oh, we'll
aggression is
get
all.
onto new metal in a bit,
Yeah,
man. We'll
but
get onto
like
that in a bit.
you know, disappointing wrestlers. Like I said, never make these wrestlers your
Don't put
heroes
him on a
because
pedestal.
never put them on a pedestal because they'll knock you down. But yeah, man,
Same
it.
with musicians, man. Same with musicians. I've done some interviews and that with musicians in the past, and
Oh
some
yeah.
of them have been really great. Some of them, one of the worst interviews I did, and I say worse because he clearly didn't want to do the interview at the time, was Biff Byford from the band Saxon. He
Oh.
clearly didn't want to be there, so I just did 5 minutes and said, "Okay, thank you very much, we're done." And it never went up anywhere for where I was writing for because we both knew it was just terrible.
Yeah.
Nothing what I was doing; it was all his attitude.
Oh,
But one of the
you're
best
lovely,
people.
man. The moment I started talking to you, even through text, I was like, this this is a lovely man. This is a bloke. This is a guy right here.
People say that, people say that about me. That's fair enough, you know.
Yeah.
But but it's like one of the best interviews I have done that I did do when I was doing more music interviews, like for the last decade or so, was Chris Jericho. Definitely was one of the top ones because I was like, okay, he's here for Fozzy stuff. I'm not going to bring wrestling up unless he brings it up. Within 5 minutes, he's talking about Daniel Bryan. So it's like, okay, we'll bring wrestling into the conversation then. Why not? Screw it. Because here's a thing. Here's a fun fact. The first concert I ever went to was a Fozzy concert, right?
Oh wow.
First festival I ever went to, he was the first band playing on the second stage that day. So the first band I ever saw at a festival was also Fozzy.
Was this when
So
he had that pig guy walking around stage?
it was 2005.
Maybe.
So maybe. But he played in my hometown. It was just a local band and then his band. And then the second time I saw Fozzy at a gig venue was same place, but this time it was like Soil and Breed 77. So it's like new metal mania for half the night. And El Nino. El Nino opened.
Oh man, I love El Nino. Bringing me
Uh,
back here, man. You're sending me to this place.
oh, I've interviewed a Christian from them too, like ages ago. That was fun because there's some, not all of it got used because for some reason he went down a bit of a conspiracy loophole, but that's how it was back then.
Yeah. The
But
conspiracy theorists back then were actually fun and interesting, as opposed to now where they're destructive and toxic.
the thing is, the thing is with that word's always been disruptive and toxic. It's
Yeah.
just because of places like, it's just because of people like Art Bell, they knew how to make it work so it wasn't toxic. They knew how to make it work with the alien callers and stuff like that for years.
I loved Art Bell. I love Coast to Coast. Like when I used to like do my job where I would work like midnights to when I worked to like drive home like at midnight, and then his show would come on with the
Mhm.
dun, 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 Midnight Express plays.
Oh
I
yeah, the
love.
chase. Yeah.
Yeah, talk to me about these aliens you saw like in your farm. Talk to me about like Bigfoot. I'm here to sit and listen to that. Keep
Bless,
your
bless Brian Alvarez. He tries with the After Dark, but he tries. That's all I'll
tries.
say. He tries.
I feel like he has way more enthusiasm for for Observer After Dark than he does for his other wrestling shows. Like
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I used to be subscribed to both Torch and Observer,
yeah.
and I decided in the last couple of years to stop that because there were places like Social Suplex that were just doing better content.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the newsletter, I don't mean for it to be a plug for Social Suplex, but the newsletter they put out is probably the best stuff I'm seeing that you do not have to pay a single dime for.
Yeah, go to socialsuplex.com, subscribe to their newsletter. It's for free. Contributors from around the world, not just in America, getting secondhand information, but people from those parts of the world getting
Yep.
getting direct information. And there's no there's not really much bias. It's just news being reported in a fun way.
Yeah,
It's great.
exactly.
And you get write-ups also from
Um,
fans sent in, and then they'll tell their experiences. It's great. I read it, and I'm gonna say yeah, socialsuplex.com. Sign up today.
but
And this podcast has no affiliation with socialsuplex.com yet.
yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed reading them. I still read the old. I still like to check out stuff that has been said because
Yeah.
sometimes Meltzer does get the scoops. And I mean, Meltzer's got a meme going around now because when he's commenting on how WWE like getting clips from
75
podcasts
million.
or YouTube going, "Oh, it's the greatest thing ever," you know, that's been going around. So
Yeah.
that was quite funny. But yeah, with the music side of things, I definitely grew up on new metal. I
New
was
metal.
definitely the right age for that.
Yeah.
New metal, end of grunge, crossing over.
Yeah. We were talking earlier like about like bands like Mudvayne,
Yep,
Slipknot.
yep,
You were talking about Il Nino. I love Il Nino. I love Atreyu. I love Static X. Static X is so good.
yes. Static
Just to
X is
rock out
good.
with, man, and freaking
Dope.
dope. And like even like some of like the, I like Stain. It's been
Yep.
a while. Is on my karaoke list. I love the Punisher 2004 soundtrack. That's
Oh yeah.
probably that's probably the best collection of new metal.
No, no,
Like
no, no. There's one better. There's one better. Freddy versus Jason.
Freddy versus Jason. Oh,
The soundtrack for that is pure new metal all the way.
oh, it's great too.
Uh,
People like call it butt rock. People talk down about it, but there's
no, no,
something
no, no.
there's something
They're
about
getting
it,
butt
man.
rock wrong. They're getting butt rock. They're getting that genre
Fozzy is
wrong. It
butt
doesn't.
rock.
Yeah,
Judas is butt rock.
yeah. Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah.
After American Capitalist onwards, butt rock. And there's a reason why I make that distinction because the other day I was listening to Sirius XM's Turbo station,
Yeah.
um, and that was just taking me back. Trust Company Downfall got played at one point, and immediately I was brought back to that WWF pay-per-view that used them. Or was it WWE at that point? Either way. Vengeance, whatever. And I was brought back to that. Stained came on at one point.
That's lovely, man.
Taproot and stuff. Now, let me caveat this saying that the AI slop stuff going around, I cannot stand. Those people that were making the fake funeral for Hogan stuff and stuff like that, can't stand that. But I like stuff like There I Ruined It, and like people using like stuff of Hank Hill to do Stained It's Been a While.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's
There
so.
is
I love
there is
those AI Hank Hill sings. It's great.
There's a version of that on YouTube of Hank Hill doing It's Been a While that you can honestly, if you really didn't think hard, you could think they'd actually done that and put it in a King of the Hill episode somewhere because it makes so much sense as well because he made sure it was the censored version of Stained as well. He's like, Hank Hill would not curse. He would not swear. And even when covering a song, he would not swear. And I'm like, yes, you've got it nailed down in one.
We are hitting that line between metal, wrestling, and King of the Hill. That's just my sweet spot right now.
Well, the series I haven't watched the new series yet.
Oh, yeah.
I might have by the time this has come out, but I haven't watched it yet.
I'm going to give a light review for you. It gets better. That's my light review. It gets better.
I've seen clips. People were like, "Oh, the Khan voice sucks now." I'm like, "No, the Khan voice is perfectly fine. Stop moaning."
Like because okay, so for people who don't know, Khan was voiced by Toby Huss before, and because in our current world they changed actually the voice actors for Khan and for Joseph Gribble, they used a native BIPOC person to play Joseph now, and Ronnie Chang plays Khan, and
Oh, perfect choice.
Yeah, because Ronnie Chang, he's so abrasive and how he talks, and
Yeah.
like it's perfect because he's like Southeast Asian, so it's like at least you're getting
Yeah.
somebody that's from the region, and then like shout out to Toby
It,
Huss. He actually studied like Laotian to make sure he got like the pronunciations right.
oh,
But
I didn't know.
yeah, like he did a whole like because Hank Azaria also did like this whole thing where he tried to make sure like that his things were as friendly as possible. I know Hank Azaria is a tough spot for
Mm,
people when it comes to like
yeah, yeah.
Apu and like
That is amazing, by the way, that with all that going on, with the changes to voice actors that did characters that were not white, which had to be done given the
yeah.
times, the Simpsons just decided, oh yeah, Pooh doesn't speak now whatsoever. We're not bothering. It's like, no, that's going completely backwards. That's
You
going completely the
you,
other way.
you can recast Apu. They did that episode about Apu with the comedian who was the one that called them out on it.
Oh yes, yes.
And I was like, yeah, it's not that he has the accent. That's not the issue.
No,
People can have accents. It's
yeah.
the actor playing him and then the stereotypes that are being thought about.
Portrayed,
The
yeah.
stereotypes portrayed. Because, like, if I go to, like, people talk about, like, Avatar, and then, like, the. Nobody on Avatar is presented, like, as, like, a. There's barely any, like, Asian voices on there, but all the
Hmm.
voices are portrayed with respect. Whereas like Apu was the butt of the jokes on a lot of things, and
Yeah.
that's the issue. Khan, Khan was not a butt of a joke. Khan, Ted, Chain, they were just all happened to be voiced by white people at the time,
Yeah.
because the people who were doing voice acting back then, there wasn't really that many like Asian American voice actors. I mean, Lauren Tom, voice of
Yeah.
Connie and Min,
Yeah.
she was great. She was also Rugrats, all this other stuff. Number
Amy
three
and
from
Futurama.
Futurama. But like, if we're talking about like Asian American male voice actors, there there wasn't really much of any, and there was hardly
No.
like any like Asian American actors in general that they could have called in for the voice. But we have
Hmm.
now, thanks to cultures changing, time changing, is people are not going to accept a Khan or a Ted Wasana song or a
Hmm.
Kanye or like or a Chain Wasana song or Khan
Yeah.
Sufalusin phone. They're not going to accept that being voiced by somebody else. And I know like some people say, oh, that's cancel culture, that's whatever, that's letting the woke mind virus win. But I'm like,
Yeah.
no, dude, they're giving like chances for other people to have a voice, to voice people.
Exactly.
And
It's
like,
creating work, not get taking away work.
yeah, and like Toby Huss does the new voice for Dale. My
Yes.
wife noticed it like right away, because like Dale has this high pitched voice, but
Yeah.
like the new Dale is
Yeah.
like, well, it's like a little bit deeper. But then as he does it more, like it's kind of fixed. But
Hmm.
Dale has a specific voice that you're supposed to do. I was taken
Rusty
by the aliens.
Shackleford. Rusty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rusty
So, yeah.
Shackleford.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Classic. When the real
it's
Rusty turns up. Uh-oh.
oh yeah, that's a great.
But yeah. So music wise, it's like Korn were a very big thing.
Oh, I love corn.
I pretty much have the first three Korn albums, even if Follow the Leader has one song that has aged very
Very bad.
badly.
That's
All in the Family,
that's
very
not going.
badly aged now.
That's never going to be. That's not
Well,
going to be
the
played
thing,
out of like Cornfest. I don't even think they play it
well,
at the Cornfest.
no, no.
No,
I
they
mean,
don't.
there was going to be when I was doing that heavy metal, when I was guesting on that heavy metal podcast for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Literally the week after my run had finished, they did that song, and I was just like, oh, just missed out on doing that one because I really wanted to kind of bury it a little bit. It just, yeah, we get it. It's fine. It's fine. And then the end happens, and you're just like, oh no,
Yeah.
oh no, 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 stop, stop talking.
And
But
yeah, when we were talking earlier about putting wrestlers on pedestals, right? But
mm,
and like also some musicians, but I loved Ozzy. I loved Black Sabbath. My uncle played bass for Ozzy for like a decade. My uncle
Oh,
Martinez.
right.
So, like, he wrote No More Tears. I love No More Tears.
Oh, I love that song.
And like going back and listening to like the Ozzy discography, and like it's it's just like, it's legendary, it's great. There's so many different styles he does. It's heavy. There's some love
Yeah,
songs. Like
yeah.
Ozzy can sing. People don't
Hmm.
know, but Ozzy can sing.
I
It's
mean, I put it on like socials like a couple of days after saying not many people realize that Ozzy can do a great ballad with the best of them, and I put Dreamer from the Gets Me Through album up.
oh yeah.
So that was perfect choice. But it's
Yeah.
like the fun thing about doing those mixtapes was not just remembering how good some Sabbath songs are, because my favorite Sabbath album is Master of Reality.
Mm, classic.
Volume 4 is a close second, especially after listening through Volume 4 again recently. And especially since there's a mashup artist out there called Bill McClintock
Mm,
that did two great Aussie mashups. He did one to Donna Summer's Hot Stuff and Flying High Again. And the second one is Rockwell's Somebody Watching Me and Snowblind. And the way he managed to mix those two songs together was just excellent work.
yeah.
You will have heard a creaking door, but don't worry about that.
It's
But
like we were talking about earlier about like how people just like toss away deathmatch wrestlers. It's the same thing
yeah,
with like metal, with heavy metal, death metal, new metal singers. They just see the music as like just loud and obnoxious, but don't
yeah.
appreciate the
But
technicality of the
there's a
drum
new
plating and
metal
the.
revival.
Oh man, it's so good. It's so good.
There's a revival going on right now. There's a
Yeah,
revival going on right now. Um, there's there's a website called the New Metal Agenda that is really good. There's bands like Cheem, Fox Lake, hell, even the band that do Okada's, well, work with One OK Rock and Okada's new theme,
yeah,
Pale Dusk. They're really good.
yeah,
I love what they're putting out.
yeah, yeah. It metal, wrestling, all this stuff. I love this stuff, man. Like,
Um,
and like, it's just these are all things that are kind of like a universal language. Like,
yeah,
like Ozzy did like that Budokan, and like like when people want the boot, they're not all gonna know anything about his English words that he's saying, but they're gonna love the music that he plays because they love it, and
I
that's what
mean,
universal
people love.
language is. And I think that
Yeah,
also
I mean,
translates to wrestling, because why are there so many WWE fans in Japan? Because that translates
yeah.
to what those fans like. And why are there
I
so many New
mean,
Japan fans in America? Because we love that style.
I mean, people people give baby metal a lot of shit,
Yeah,
right? And sure, fair enough. If you want to put it off as cutesy cutesy because they give me chocolate, whatever, fine.
yeah.
But some of the stuff they've done, the opener on that first album is just pure death metal.
They can shred, man.
Yeah, and I'm just like the guest stars they've had on recent albums. They've had like Yokaim from Sabaton. They've had Bloody Wood on there. If we want to talk about global metal, Bloody Wood are great at the moment. They're from India. They're really good.
Yeah. I'll search them up. I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna. I think you were talking earlier about you have like the Aussie mixtape.
Yeah.
Yeah, If you once you could send that to me, I'm gonna
Oh,
just
I'll
like
link you up with that. No
I'm just gonna
worries.
be sent to a new world again. Cause let me tell people, this guy Matt, this guy LegionAOD, he is so great to talk to. He's such a great guy, and I love his taste in music. He's I trust this guy. I trust this guy. It's hard for me to
Appreciate that, man.
trust people's taste and stuff, but like on my show, I tend to only interview people I like. So, yeah, I like you, dude. But
I appreciate that, man.
yeah,
Thank you. That's very touched.
yeah, because
Um,
Yeah, it's great, man. And you know, I'm happy that you chose to come on my show because you were telling me like you took a long hiatus from talking about wrestling.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think you said you took a hiatus from wrestling in general. Like I think in
I
2021
could,
was something when there was some fallout for something. But
yeah. Basically, what happened is I stepped away for a little while after when the whole Bucks and Punk thing was getting ridiculous. But and I just thought I will watch things go on from afar. I will talk to people like on social and stuff, but I will step back a bit from writing about it. And then um, very recently, a friend reminded me it was the SCI tournament, right?
yeah,
And I thought I'll watch this year's SCI. Great tournament. Night one is really good. Night one has a great match with. See, I didn't know of the guy Cruel was facing at all. I knew Cruel, I knew Gary J, I knew Casey Owens, I knew that the guy formerly known as Danny Burch and Martin Stone. He was originally supposed to be in the tournament, but then had to
wow,
drop out.
okay,
Um, but I knew who replaced him as well. I knew about 4 wrestlers that were on that lineup this year, so I thought I'll check it out. And Cruel was taking on Tim Bosby, who is currently, as we record this, he's currently the Action Wrestling Champion.
hmm,
And Dylan Hales, who people might know more as a commentator for Action Wrestling, is now essentially the heel manager for Tim. And he's been doing, from what I saw from that weekend, he's been doing such great work. And yeah, I've known Dylan from like message boards days on Death Valley Driver. So maybe I'm a bit biased. But I hadn't seen him do this heel manager work at all. And I love a heel manager. I love some of my favorite. Obviously, Bobby Heenan and Paulie Dangerously are obviously the 2 top tier.
okay,
But you've also got Don Callis when he was Cyrus in ECW. That was one of the best runs. Especially that episode in the Manhattan Center where he cancels the show. You've definitely seen this.
yeah,
For those that haven't, he basically cancels the TNN show in the Manhattan Center, and he's antagonizing Joey Styles. He's antagonizing Gertner. Paul Heyman comes down, but you don't see Paul Heyman until he cracks Cyrus over the head with a cell phone. Next thing you know, Rhino's coming down, and I'll get to another thing I love with Rhino in a bit as well. He gores Paul Heyman. This starts a big brawl with everybody, trying to fight everybody, and ends with Kid Cash leaping over the top rope, diving onto everyone on the outside. That's the opening of the ECW show for that week. Perfect TV opening.
yeah.
But what Dylan's been doing is he's been doing this thing with he's been using the backpack, which has obviously got some stuff in to use as weapons and stuff. And on the first night of SCI, him and the ref get into it. Cruel kind of dives onto the ref and Dylan, which I thought, okay. I want him to take a choke slam as well, and I told a mutual friend of both mine and Dylan's this. Take the choke slam, but he didn't take it on that day, maybe another day. But the next night, he comes out on crutches. Before Seth Rollins did it, and he comes out on crutches. You're thinking, oh, here we go. He's going to do the crutches thing. He's going to whack them with the crutch at some point. He goes one better. He gets a wheelchair, comes down in the wheelchair, and I'm thinking, he's doing Ron Wright from Smoky Mountain Wrestling year 1. He's totally doing the Ron Wright stuff, and I absolutely love that. Him and Stokely right now Stokely's finally got a good run in AEW. I am very happy about.
I'm happy that he's actually putting forth something because it's been like, geez,
Start with it.
It's been since Evolve, man. Like that's the last time he had something that actually stuck.
Yeah, but with AEW, well, with WWE, I kind of got because I don't think he should have ever gone there. I don't think his role ever worked there. But
No.
when AEW were doing the stop start with him, I was getting so frustrated. I'm like, pick someone to team him with, or just don't bother.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
then
get
they
why
did this
they
with
stopped
FTR.
him with Ego. That was like a perfect like. I don't know. I don't know.
The firm stuff dying out as quick as it did kind of bothered me.
Yeah,
But I
these are
have my
things
feelings
that.
on MJF.
Yeah, these are things like I think about like, like with AEW like cause like if I'm gonna tell you the truth like I look at AEW I don't really pay attention to the storylines because if I do
Mhm.
I'm gonna be like why is this? Why is this? Why is that? And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to watch it for the matches, and
Yeah,
if
not
I see,
everything has to have a story.
yeah, if I see Don Callis or the Young Bucks, and they're gonna do something funny, I'll pay attention to that. But anything else, like if I'm really gonna put myself into a story, I'm gonna make myself like, I'm gonna pull my hair out that I don't have, and just be like, okay,
Oh,
um,
I'm getting a bit thin on top too, so don't worry about
brother.
it.
My sibling they turned bald in senior year of high
Mhm.
school.
Ooh.
The-
Well,
nah.
I was kind of like that due to some health stuff when I was a teenager as well. So I was just like, I'm going to keep it short from now on.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I've stuck that way ever since.
I used to have long hair. I had long hair up until age of when I was like 27, and then that's when it started.
Hmm.
Like I buzzed my head for the summer because it was hot, and then
Yeah.
it that was rest in peace for my hair. That was it.
Rest in peace, hairline. Yeah.
Yeah, there
But
goes my
it's like
hairline.
with, I mean, the Young Buck stuff, that thing they mentioned on Tunnel Talk about potentially doing that thing with the Outrunners and letting the Outrunners beat them for the titles. I'm like, they should have done that well, last week. Well,
Yeah,
they should have done that the week where they had no entrance, no title card. The Outrunners should have beat them in like 2 minutes. They could have done it then, but they didn't. And I'm just like, you had the perfect opportunity to do what you wanted to do, and at the perfect time when you are at the bottom of the barrel, you've lost your EVP status, you've lost half your salary because they're giving it away in $10,000 matches. They actually made that the canon now. About a week after I put it up on Blue Sky, that my head canon is, well, he doesn't have to pay their salary anymore, so he can do all these matches where he's giving away money.
that's so good. It's so good. There's stuff about complaining. How are we gonna financially recover for this? It's great.
Oh, the Tiger King quote was
Yeah,
great,
it's
but
yeah,
it's just like a see. The thing is with AEW, AEW has had its moments where it has been completely bad, just on a creative level.
yeah,
Because see, MJF to me is a character that you can never make him babyface, and they tried doing that, and it kind of worked. The problem was, as soon as they did the thing at World's End, you just knew, give it a few months and it'll be back to the status quo. And then, yep, turns out it did.
yeah.
And it's just like, you can never try and make him babyface again, or the he's our scumbag stuff again, because you tried that and it failed. And then we get back to the usual boring, tired,
Yeah.
cliched shit from him.
Yeah,
And
the stupidest part was he did the return dressed doing his Triple H cosplay, and
yes, he did.
he did an MJFism against Rush as a babyface, and like it and like he right away he was like, oh no, don't chant that, don't chant that. Where I'm like, you put it out there that you don't understand, so they're gonna start wanting Rush because you said you can barely understand what he's saying.
I gave the moment I gave up on MJF was even before the whole stuff with him and Adam Cole. It
Yeah.
was when he did the shit with Takeshita.
Oh, you take a shit. My
Yeah, when he
God.
did that shit, I thought, oh, you're just gonna keep doing that for the rest of your career, aren't
Yeah.
you? Yeah,
And
yes, you are.
he made Takeshita tap out in that match. There was no comeuppance. That was the problem with him for so long. There's no comeuppance for anything. Like even
Yeah.
like, I mean I guess Hangman pinned him, but like, and then like if we look at the end of the Adam Cole feud, Adam Cole
Mm,
still lost, But then he figured out that he has 4 people that can beat up MJF, and that was the end of the story.
And then Wardlow just shows up and disappears again.
Yeah. If you think about like this stuff like we're talking about right now, you're like, ugh. But then like the matches are good, you know.
Yeah, the matches are great. It's just
Yeah.
the pugs. I mean, one of my favorite things recently has been the Mark Briscoe stuff.
Oh yeah. I love me a preacher man, gimmick, and he does it so well. It's it's like everything is so positive. That thing where he talked about like, I know if I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to hell and I'm never gonna see my brother, but I might do it because you pissed me off.
I
That
just
stuff
love
is
though.
great.
I just love with him. One week it's Wednesday, it's Talky Talk Day, and then the next week it's like, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna. And it's like, no, Mark. Last week you said Wednesday was Talk Day. But it works. I'm surprised no one actually said that to him, like when he started doing all the stuff he did last week. Like, I'm going to kill him, so I may not see my brother again.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, he's that pissed off. He will happily take not going to heaven to beat MJF's ass. And I'm just like, yes, that's what we need more of. Blood feud.
That's
None of
what
this.
I love.
That was something I think Alvarez brought it up once for the year that it was when Orton was basically beating up all the McMahons, and then the WrestleMania was him versus Triple H, I think. After they did the fake home angle.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh, they're going to be punching the shit out of it. Nope, collar and elbow. No!
Oh, yeah. We're talking about that for this year. Mox tried to kill Swerve. Swerve tried to kill Mox. And they started off the match by doing a collar and elbow technical wrestling display.
Well, Mox was probably going to do that to troll anyway. I mean, you probably like me. You've probably been following Mox since he was doing the kind of Joker Dark Knight stuff on the Indies.
Yeah. Actually, I love watching Puerto Rico wrestling because I love the origins of hardcore wrestling go to Puerto Rico.
Yes.
I was talking about American Numbers with this because he's from Puerto Rico. He grew up on that stuff. Like we were talking about like Bruiser Brody stuff. How like if you think about like Onita, where he learned the hardcore violent stuff, it was from Puerto Rico, taking that to Memphis. Yeah. And everything is just like, yeah. So like there's actually fun footage of him in WWC or other Puerto Rican federations doing the brawling, getting batteries tossed at him, being like, and like Mox is like my age, so then he's just like a 18-year-old kid getting batteries tossed at him, probably getting threatened with like knives and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this makes perfect sense why Mox is the way Mox is.
Oh, one of my favorite promos of all time is a Terry Funk promo down in Puerto Rico. It's you know this one. It's the one where he's screaming pigs, pigs, pigs at the end, and the crowd are just screaming to get at him. I'm just like, yep, you better get out of there quick. But I know Terry can hold his own. But I'll tell you the last WWE match I have actually watched properly. This is the last match I thought was any good from that company. Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest in Puerto Rico.
Oh, it is so good. It is so Puerto Rico also.
Yes.
That's the thing. They start off the match just throwing bombs at each other. It's not. There's no pretense of like, oh, we're gonna put on a show for you. No, we're fucking each other up. It's great.
I mean, the crowd, every single person in that crowd singing along to Bad Bunny's theme as he's coming out. The uncut version, may I add, they put on there too, which was amazing. If you translate some of the lyrics on that song, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like that one that he did on, I forget which album it was. It had the line that translated into, if he doesn't eat your asshole, then don't blow it.
Yo.
It's like, there was that viral trend on TikTok of people playing that to their grandmothers, their abuelas. And the grandmother's going, what did he just say? on the TikTok.
If there's a celebrity that AEW should go after, come on. They worked on a movie together. MJF, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, yeah. Bad Bunny should. Yes, exactly.
They were both
That
in Happy
should
Gilmore
happen.
too. Come on.
Screw it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Tony Khan, get Bad Bunny on your programming. Book him well. He can wrestle. We've seen he can actually wrestle. He can do great destroyers. Oh, there's an idea. Bad Bunny and Osprey as a tag team.
Oh my gosh. We're talking about and if they do that, like if they have like a show in Miami, or I imagine like how many people would be at that show. That would be
bring
so
Road
hot.
Rager back in Miami. Bring that show back that they
Road
did.
Rager put Bad Bunny in the main event, sells out.
Yeah.
They have to like empty out the whole thing. You can probably sell out the Miami Heat arena. That's hey, we're giving stuff here. Maybe I put the show out earlier than I thought, but it's
hey,
like
Tony, listen to us. We have good ideas, Tony.
This is money here, Tony Khan. You can make so much money off a guy because there's no way that Bad Bunny is going to work for a company again that hired a guy that called Puerto Rico Trash Island. At least I don't think so.
That got cancelled, didn't it? The second one got cancelled, didn't it? That they were going to do last weekend.
Yeah. But it's going that way. I hate talking about this stuff because this stuff doesn't belong in wrestling. But like, I mean, they always say politics is wrestling, and I'm like, no.
It's the neo K. It's like Josie Ryman brings up. It's the neo kayfabe now.
Yeah, but like at least in wrestling, somebody gets their comeuppance.
Yeah, I mean, screw it. I'm bringing it up. That company in the week of the beginning of August. To the beginning of August, has basically decided we don't need to put the mask on anymore. We can take the mask off. We are going to be at the White House as part of the fitness council. Sure, get the man on the fitness council that was taking HGH and roids and so much that his heart nearly exploded. That's a great idea.
Fantastic. I mean, they already have the guy that stopped research into the mRNA vaccine that would have been helpful for everything from cancer to everything else.
Yeah.
And like, you have Donald Trump there saying his name. He's on stage talking about protecting girl sports.
Fake Homelander, yes.
Yes. Like protecting girl sports is basically being the whole fear mongering on trans people. And it's just like you have Triple H there standing, smiling, applauding to everything that's going on, and I'm like, you also have him standing there.
Like, ooh. I mean, yes,
standing there with Vince McMahon also talking about that stuff, so this is WWE stance on trans and gay people.
Yeah.
This is what they're doing, and then you're just like, my God. And my sister was on the show like a little bit ago, talking about how her favorite wrestler is Triple H. So I'm like, I haven't brought it up to her yet, but I'm like sure she feels a certain way about it.
I mean, as a queer wrestling fan, I'm just like, you can't support this. Now, before anyone does the whataboutery or whatever, because I know people will, AEW is not perfect either. Yeah. I know that. It's wrestling. No one's totally 100% on the level. But WWE have made it so brazen and blatant that they don't care about Pride anymore. They've stopped doing shit for Pride. They didn't do anything for Black History Month this year at all whatsoever.
There is no more anti-bullying campaign.
Yeah, be a stop. That's gone out the window, even though that wasn't exactly on the level campaign to begin with. Whatever it was CM Punk was going to say that one time, who the hell knows? Maybe in another decade we'll get the answer to that question.
Yeah.
When he actually retires because he's got no more bridges to burn. But it's like then you have Triple H in the same room as Lawrence Taylor, which WrestleMania 11 main event, but also
registered sex offender.
Yeah, exactly. Then you have the Epstein stuff being brought up in front of Triple H, who is looking like, uh-oh. And he's probably thinking in his head, wait, what have I got to do this week? Oh, no. It's like, and then Sunday happened. Sunday it's the 6th today, so 3rd or whatever.
Oh, dude.
3rd of August, they bring Brock back, even though he's named 44 times in a lawsuit, basically accusing him of coercive stuff, and
Yeah.
potentially having a woman basically given as a bargaining chip for a new contract signing.
Yeah.
44 times.
Allegedly
Yeah.
soliciting things that would put someone on track to being put as part
Well,
of a lawsuit.
here's
Allegedly.
the
I'm saying
thing.
allegedly.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though, with that. They've been trying to explain it off as saying the legal cleared him about a month ago,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Back in July. And I'm thinking, if they cleared him a month ago, the Diddy verdict was around that time, right? The Sean Combs verdict was around that time.
Yeah.
And Sean Combs did not get found guilty of trafficking. He got found guilty of potentially transporting for prostitution, I believe it was. He
Yeah.
was found guilty of that.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if WWE Legal were watching that very closely. And then once that verdict came out, they were like, right, we can find a loophole somewhere that will mean Brock is able to come back. I thought about that the other day. I just thought it was one of those things where I was just like, possible.
Yeah. They're probably going to make Brock look like a victim of McMahon.
Yeah,
Without saying that.
potentially.
Like, that's kind of what's happening with Johnny Ace, allegedly.
Yeah, he basically is giving them all that they asked for. He's
Yeah.
basically singing like a canary, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like this is like the world we're in, the world for over 50 years, the revolutionary force and sexual harassment. It's because like you have that, and then you have like the ring boy stuff, and
The
then
Ring
you
Boys
ha-
lawsuit, yes.
yeah, and then you know like I read like all this stuff about previous sexual harassment lawsuits. Brock's wife filed a sexual harassment lawsuit against WWF, and
1999.
they settled, which means she won.
The Colbert tried doing one as well
Yeah, it's like
at one point.
this company has nothing to hide. They're all warts and all, and like people are like,
I just found it.
it's
I just found it
astounding.
so brazen that on the Sports Agent podcast, when Trips is just doing his usual what we do kind of stuff, and he was just trying to brush it under the rug then. And I'm thinking, if you're giving the same reasoning in July and August as you were in January when this all started, when the first press conference happened after the lawsuit got dropped into everyone's hands, you have not you either are hoping it goes away very quickly, or you're just thinking that, oh, no one will care about that. They'll only care about the wrestling. And I'm like, yeah, there's a percentage that will think that way.
Yeah.
We know that from online. But there will be a percentage that do not think that way, that think what you're doing is completely stupid.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is ruining the entertainment that people want to escape from by doing the shit like this.
Yeah. And then
We want to escape.
Yeah, we're not going. We want an escape. We want an escape from this, and I think they're going to feel it because they got that 1.6 billion dollar deal from ESPN, from Disney. Let's not mince words. Not ESPN. Disney.
Yeah.
1.6 billion from Disney. And like, it's like this company is failing up.
Disney don't fuck around though. If something happens when that deal is being done, Disney will just basically go, no, fuck it, we're done.
Yeah.
They've done that before.
Because like, if I think about it like this, because people are just saying ESPN, all those things, like, no, this is not ESPN. ESPN is owned as a subsidiary of Disney. If that business is not good at all, because like they want to get rid of the UFC because that's been a falling pay-per-view buy thing.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, and then like if you think about it, they're gonna have to train the WWE audience to pay $30 for the ESPN deal, so that, and for the last 11 years, WWE fans have been paying $9.99 a month. And in this Peacock era, it's $5.
Yeah.
To watch pay-per-views. I don't think I don't think that those same fans are going to transfer over because
People are just gonna do. People are just gonna do like people in the UK have done with the Online Safety Act stuff, and they'll just get a VPN,
yeah,
put Netflix on Netflix UK, and just watch WWE off of Netflix.
because
They're just gonna try and do that.
yeah, because UFC was really successful when they first started with the Disney Plus thing. Well,
Yeah.
not Disney with like ESPN Plus, where the pay per views going all out on there. They were very successful. They were drawing
Hmm.
big money on there, and then
Yeah.
UFC did UFC things, got rid of all their draws, and you see year over
Started
year,
putting.
they're
Started really showing the MAGA side.
yeah, they've gone from a pay per view business to a live event business, which is
Yeah.
reverse. They've gone in reverse. Like they'll sell out. They'll sell out a building with those $1,000 tickets in the nosebleeds, but
Yep.
they're not getting people to buy the pay per views.
It's days like this I miss Pride more and more.
God, yeah, you know,
Why?
I have friends that were in UFC during the Zuffa years, and
Hmm.
who talk to the guys who are there post Zuffa, and it sucks post Zuffa.
Oh yeah, I bet
Yeah, so it's just like,
the payouts have been shocking. I've read up on those.
yeah, the
Yeah.
payouts are bad. They can't get the sponsorships because sponsors don't really care anymore as what they did. Because you remember, like, I don't know if you watched like MMA back in. Oh, you said you watch Pride. Guys would come out with sponsorships from everywhere on their shirts, on their banner flag. When
Yeah.
you like,
When the UFC just decided to make Reebok the one sponsor on every piece of kit and stuff like that, that to me was like the beginning of the end, because it's like you are throwing away so much money. Yes, Reebok's a big brand. I get it. But you're throwing away so much money with all these other things too.
yeah, Muscle Farm, Venom.
WWE are doing it. Well, the thing is, WWE are doing now what UFC used to do.
Yeah,
They are doing that with the Slim Jim. I hate saying this. The Slim Jim
tables.
tables, and the ladders got sponsors, didn't they, or something?
Yeah, they got their C4 energy drink ladders. Brought to you by
Oh
C4
God!
Energy.
What the hell?
Oh,
What next?
I'm waiting for
What
the
next?
chairs.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the chairs. What's the chair going to be?
Snickers, hungry
My
while
pillow.
wait.
No, they're going to be my pillow chairs,
My
aren't they?
pillow chairs. Oh, great.
Given the company they're keeping, it's my pillow chairs.
Oh. this is this is great. You know, it's going. You're going down the drain. We had Cody for so many years. I'm not a Republican. I try to stay as apolitical as possible because I think that our fans are on both sides of the line. And
Shows up at the army thing.
yep, shows up at the army thing, and people say, "Oh, he didn't join up to support Trump and all that stuff." I'm like, "Yo,
I
you go to
I
that, you
have
know what's gonna be happening. They tell you everybody
I
that's gonna be
have
there."
I have seen the clip from the post night 2 show where they're all chanting Homelander at him, and he's
Yeah.
going, "Homelander's a terrible person. Stop chanting Homelander at me." And I'm like, "You're hanging out with Homelander, dude. You are hanging out with him."
Yeah.
As Sposo likes to call him, Homelander. You know, so it's like you're hanging out with Homelander, damn it.
You're hanging out with Homelander. He's gonna try to make everything pure. You got blue eyes. Just don't
Everything
tell him that your
healthy.
mom's Cuban.
Oh God.
God.
But it's like, I mean, we're no better. We are no better over here. We are walking over here in the UK on that tightrope. To be
Oh,
honest,
yeah.
we're supposed.
I remember all that
We're,
stuff about the people throwing rocks at the Asian people.
uh,
Uh,
don't.
yeah.
We got a center left party that's turned center right as the years have got since they've got in. They're trying to get the votes of what they believe is the far right,
Oh yeah.
and it's not working.
That's the same thing here with the Democrats. They become
Yep,
the
it's exactly
they
the same
become the
thing.
Republicans of the 2000s. It's so
It's
like
exactly the same thing, and that is why no one wants to vote for them. They're
yeah.
just like, we don't want to vote for the right wing guys because we know what they'll do, but we don't want to vote for you either because you're trying to court them so many times. There is a new party on the come up over here, but I'm gonna give that a little bit more longer to settle before I make my mind up on it. I like who's involved at the moment with that, but I'm just letting it form a bit more first.
We
I
need
am,
a third party, a real
yeah,
third
that's what
party.
essentially it
That's my Jesse Ventura. But like,
is.
yeah, you know,
Why?
I was thinking that we need a third party, a real third party candidate to vote for because America doesn't work. You know,
Hmm.
it's a
Why
work in
doesn't he
progress.
just walk out of the door? Why is he walking out of the door? It's a cowardly thing to do. Cue match from the 80s at Saturday night's main event that he was on. It's a great idea to walk out the door. I'm like,
You
the funny
spend
bit
less
about that,
energy going out the door. When you're climbing up the top, you're wasting too much time, McMahon.
exactly, and
It's
it's funny it's funny that he says that because literally, I think a week later, WWE Vault posted the matchup where he was saying it was a good idea to go out the door.
yeah,
It's just like, well, there you go. Apparently, supposedly, because he did all that moaning about the door at the last Saturday night show, he's not getting asked back.
yeah. You know,
That's the rumor.
but he was right because if you're a face, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not a good look to just walk out the door. At least if you're climbing out the door, it's like a struggle kind of thing, and that's the problem with those more modern cage matches in
Mm.
WWE. The escape cage is like going through the door is not. It's not a good visual, and that's why I
No,
hated
it's not good.
when AEW did the escape rules for the cage. Like, why? Oh, I remember why because Mal didn't want to take a pin.
Yeah, Tommy End didn't want to take a pin. No. Um,
But yeah,
That
man.
makes me laugh that he was going this week. I never complained. I never complained about jobbing. I'm like, they've had one cage match for escape rules, and it was yours. And you didn't want to get pinned. So they made that for you.
He didn't even want
Don't
to.
you dare lie.
He didn't want to get pinned, and he didn't want to be on a team that got pinned. That's
Well,
ridiculous. He didn't even have to take the fall, but he was
what
just
annoys
so.
me is what annoys me about the House of Black stuff is that was my shit. How they were trying to book that was my shit. He was using a band called Armin Ra, who are one of the best post metal bands out there,
Yeah,
from Belgium. He was using Ogden Trush as his music. I was so happy that they were kind of getting a big break through that being used.
yeah,
And then they did the when they brought House of Black in the first time as all three, they had the Absent and Body track,
mm,
which got dropped very quickly because it turned out Scott Kelly was a massive douchebag.
mm,
So yeah, that's why he got changed to Dead Body really quick.
yeah.
Um,
I do like Buddy Matthews, and I love
oh,
Brody.
Buddy's great.
Buddy had that great match with Okada this year. It was like the first
Yes.
time Okada tried. Like 2024 Okada didn't really try outside of like some matches in the C2. But like the
Yeah.
Buddy match in Australia, that was like his first really good TV match, and I was like, oh, I guess there is something. And I'm like happy like when Mal got dropped from the group, Buddy and Brody ended up having like some really great tag team matches. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping he comes back soon. I like Brodito, but like
Yeah, Brody. Good. Have you seen the shirt they've put out?
what's with the shirt?
They've just put out a shirt, a Brodito shirt.
Because
In
these two put me like in the Globe Theater for PWG. You
yeah.
know, the Bucks are, you know, they're Reseda, so this is the Globe versus Reseda. I think that's what was online for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And as a PWG head, a PWG original fan guy,
Yeah.
that speaks to me. And you know, like when we're talking about like stuff like,
I
hold
mean,
on,
I
man.
loved it with the House of Black when they had that time off, and then they did that video where Julia was burying them all and doing the spell stuff, and it was Doug Bradley doing the narration.
Oh yeah,
They managed to get Doug Bradley for the narration. I'm like, great, you're doing everything perfectly how I want it to be, and then next thing you know, oh no, Malachi's gone. Oh, he's coming back the other place. Oh, okay then, fine. Hounds of Hell it is. Great.
hey Matt,
Give Brody a push.
hey Matt, I'm gonna take a pause here because my wife just called right now. Let me
All
just
right.
thank you, Matt, for coming on my show. This talk has been very uplifting, very knowledgeable. I love that we connect on so many things. Um, there's like two questions I ask every guest that comes on here. And
Okay.
my first question is, what's your favorite dessert?
Ooh, tough one because I'll have to pick three.
Yeah, more is good. More is better. Greed is
uh,
good.
chocolate fudge cake
Okay.
has been always my favorite since I was a kid. Treacle sponge, that's always been a favorite, and what they call Victoria sponge, that's always been a favorite of mine as well.
I love sponge cakes.
So mostly sponge cakes.
Yeah, yeah. That's a nice sponge cake with some good tea.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. I've been like eating tea with desserts a lot lately because it's
Mm-hmm.
hot over here, and tea kind of cools you down because you make you
Yeah.
sweat a little bit. So yeah, that sounds great, man. And the final question I ask everybody is, what do you want your rainbow to say? Like if a rainbow appeared out of the sky with a message from Mr. Legion AOD,
Hmm.
what do you want to say, man?
I did think at first saying thanks for everything, Julie Newmar, but no.
Oh yeah.
That's a very deep cut.
Oh,
Um, I guess live. I don't know. Hmm. This has stumped me. Yeah, everything we've done, and this is the thing that stumps me. Um, my rainbow ever turned up? I don't know. It would be. I think I'd steal Bill and Ted's line and have "Be excellent to each other" show up. I think
well, yeah, that's
be
great.
excellent to each other. Yeah, that'll do.
But I also love Tu Wong Fu. Yes, because I love serving. I love the whole drag thing. I love that stuff
Hmm.
as a straight man. So uh, I love that comment, man, because not a lot of people watch Tu Wong Fu. So I want to thank you for
No.
that, brother, because like we have way too much in common, and I love that. Who knew a guy
Hey,
from America and a guy from the UK could be like, I guess you could be like the Allied powers. Your mom would
yes,
like that.
yes, she would. Yes, Lex Luger getting involved. Yeah.
But yeah, man. Is there anything you would like to plug?
Yeah, sure. I'm Legion AOD on Blue Sky and Insta and X/Twitter. I've only just started going back on Twitter again because I'm trying to do more wrestling related stuff on a newsletter,
Yeah.
and you can find that at the Harvest Podcast Network, all one word, .substack.com. I know it's Substack. I know there's things with Substack, and I agree. I don't like how Substack handles certain things either. I have tried other platforms; they have never really worked for me. Sadly, Substack seems to be the only one that actually gets me anywhere.
Yeah.
I think they did that by design, but it's going to be the place where my weekly, for the most part, wrestling column, Wrestle Harvest, is, where I'll be talking about stuff that I've liked in the past week, mostly stuff on the indies and AEW stuff and some Japan stuff.
Yes. He
G1
sent
Climax.
he sent me a link to it, and I loved it. It's stuff that you would read back 20 years ago, whether it be on
Mm,
411 or Inside Pulse. It's that
yes.
kind of writing that I've been missing in wrestling writing.
Oh, that means a lot, man. Especially the Inside Pulse comparison and the 411 comparison. R.I.P. Larry Sonka.
R.I.P. Larry
Um,
Zonka, R.I.P. Hyatt. Too many.
when did Hyatt die?
It was like a couple years ago, man. It was like after
Damn.
Larry died. So
Oh shit.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's
I
news
love
to me.
I
Shit.
love those guys, man. Even
With
like when I
Hyatt.
was a
Yeah.
kid, Eric because of whatever his name was, talking about the
Oh yeah,
the
online
Dan
onslaught and shit.
Venator.
Yeah. Got
Yeah,
key.
I guess we have a lot in common, bro.
We grew up in the right era when it
Yeah,
was more smarky, but not as snarky.
yeah.
Um,
Oh man, that's a
but
good tagline.
yeah, uh, use that for the pod. But yeah, I've also got some music stuff. I'm going to be doing. It used to be a weekly thing, but with the wrestling stuff probably being a weekly thing, it's now
Yeah.
going to be a monthly thing
Okay.
where I make a mixtape of what I've loved in the past month, music wise. And there's also at the moment 2 mixtapes that are tribute mixtapes to the late Ozzy Osbourne. One is Black Sabbath and solo stuff, and the second mixtape is covers of Sabbath and Ozzy stuff, and covers Ozzy did. Pretty much. And they're about 2 hours long each, and there'll be a mixtape at the end of the year of all the music I've liked, which normally takes up about 4 or 5 hours. But yeah, check it out. Harvest Podcast Network, or one word, .substack.com is the best place to read my stuff, and the best place to catch me is LegionAOD on Blue Sky and Twitter and Instagram, pretty much.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on. And as we say now, thanks to you, welcome to the prescription and goodbye. We're reminiscing on a time when we were more Smarky and less Snarky.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you, man. Thank you.